Chapter 22 Then Eliphaz from Teman replied, "Can a human being, no matter how wise, be of any use to God? Does the Almighty gain anything if you are righteous? What profit does he get if you live with complete integrity? If he corrects you and calls you to account, it is not because you honor him with reverence, but because your sins are many, and your wickedness has no limit. As security for a small loan, you kept the clothes of your fellow countrymen and left them naked. You did not give water to the weary or food to the hungry. You used your position and power to take possession of the land. You robbed and mistreated orphans and never helped widows. That is why you are now surrounded by dangers, and suddenly fear overwhelms you. Darkness is so great that you cannot see, and a flood sweeps you away. God is high in the heavens. He looks down and sees the stars, though they are high above. But you ask, does God know anything? Thick clouds hide him. How can he judge us? Job, do you think the heavy clouds keep God from seeing when he walks across the heavens? Are you really going to follow the path that the wicked have taken since ancient times? They were swept away suddenly, as if carried off by a flood. They said to God, 'Leave us alone,' and asked, 'What can the Almighty do for us?' Yet it was God who filled the houses of the wicked with good things. No, but I do not want to think like them. Honest people are glad, and the upright rejoice when the wealth of the rich is destroyed and their leftovers are devoured by fire. Job, make peace with God. Stop treating him as an enemy, and he will give you everything that is good. Let God teach you, and keep his words in your heart. If you return to the Almighty and humble yourself, if you remove the evil that is in your house, if the finest gold loses its value for you and becomes like dust or like the pebbles of a stream, then the Almighty will be your pure gold, your most precious silver. He will be your joy, and you will look to him with confidence. He will hear your prayers, and you will fulfill what you vow. Everything you do will succeed, and light will shine on your path. God brings down the proud, but saves the humble. He will save you if you are innocent and upright in everything you do." Chapter 23 But in reply, Job said, "I am still bitter, and I complain to God. I cannot stop groaning. I wish I knew where to find him. I wish I could go to the place where he is, to present my case to him and lay out all the reasons I have in my favor. I would like to know what he would say to me and how he would answer me. Would God use all his power against me? No. I am sure he would listen to me. I am an honest man. I could present my case to him, and once and for all, he would declare me innocent. I look to the east, but God is not there. I look to the west, but I cannot find him. I do not see him when he works in the north, nor when he hides in the south. But God knows every step I take. If he tests me, he will see that I come out pure as gold. I follow the path he shows me and never turn aside. I obey God's commands. I always do his will and not my own. God does whatever he wants. When he decides to do something, no one can stop him. He will carry out to the end what he has planned for me, and he will also accomplish all his other plans. That is why I lose courage in his presence, and when I think about it, I am terrified. The darkness has blinded me, but it is the Almighty who makes me afraid, not the darkness. The darkness has blinded me, not the darkness." Chapter 24 Why doesn't the Almighty set a time for judgment, a day to bring justice to those who belong to him? There are men who move boundary markers in order to increase their land. They steal sheep and let them graze openly. They take donkeys that belong to orphans, and they seize the ox of a widow as collateral for a loan. They show no respect for the rights of the poor and force the needy to run and hide. Like wild donkeys in the desert, the poor wander, searching for food for their children. The poor must work harvesting for the wicked and gather grapes for them. They have no blankets to cover themselves at night, nothing to protect them from the cold. In the mountains they are drenched by the rain, and they seek shelter among the rocks. So the poor walk around almost naked and go hungry while they work harvesting grain. They turn the millstones of the wicked to make oil, and they tread their grapes to make wine, yet they suffer thirst while they work. The wounded and dying cry out in the cities, but God does not seem to hear their cries for help. The wicked hate the light. In everything they do, they want nothing to do with it. A murderer gets up at dawn to kill the poor and needy, and at night becomes a thief. The adulterer waits for dusk and covers his face so no one will see him. Thieves break into houses at night. They do not go out during the day, for they want nothing to do with the light. They fear the daylight, but the darkness does not scare them. A wicked man is swept away by a flood. His land is cursed by God, and he never returns to work his vineyard. As snow melts in the heat and dry season, so the sinner disappears from the land of the living. His own mother forgets him. Worms feast on his body, and he is forgotten by all. The sinner is destroyed like a tree that falls. This happens because he never helped widows, nor had compassion for women who could not have children. By his power, God destroys the wicked. He acts and ends the lives of the evil. God allows them to live in safety for a time, but he is always watching them. For a while the wicked prosper, but in an instant they wither like grass. They are cut off like heads of grain. Who can say these things are not so? Can anyone prove that what I am saying is not true? Chapter 25 Then Bildad, the Shuhite, replied, God is powerful and must be feared. He brings peace to the heavens. Has anyone ever counted his angels? Is there anyone on whom his light does not shine? Can anyone be righteous before God? Can a mere mortal be free from guilt? To God, even the moon has no brightness, and the stars are not pure in his sight. What then can be said of human beings, who are like insects? What is the worth of a person, a mere worm to God? Chapter 26 Then Job replied, Well done. I am weak and without strength. How greatly you have helped me and comforted me. How good you are at giving advice and using your wisdom on someone as ignorant as I am. Who helped you speak those words? Who inspired you to talk like that? The dead tremble in fear beneath the waters of the earth. To God, the realm of the dead lies open. There is no covering that can hide what happens there. God stretches out the heavens over the empty space and suspends the earth over nothing. He stores up water in the clouds, and they do not burst under its weight. He covers the face of the full moon by spreading clouds over it. He marked out the boundary between light and darkness with a circle on the surface of the sea. When he threatens the pillars that support the sky, they are terrified and tremble. By his power, God stilled the sea. By his wisdom, he defeated the monster Rahab. By his breath, God made the skies clear, and with his hand, he struck down the fleeing serpent. But these things are only a small part, just a faint whisper of what God is able to do. Who can understand the true greatness of his power? Chapter 27 And Job continued speaking, I swear by God, by the Almighty who refuses me justice and fills my heart with bitterness, that as long as he gives me breath, my lips will never speak evil, and my tongue will never tell lies. I will never admit that you are right in accusing me. As long as I live, I will insist on my innocence. I stand firm and will not give up declaring that I am right, for my conscience has never accused me. May all who oppose me, all who are my enemies, be punished like the wicked, like the evil. What hope do the godless have when God takes their life? When trouble comes, he will not listen to their cries, for God is not their joy, and they never prayed to the Almighty. I will teach you about the power of God. I will explain the plans of the Almighty. No, that is not even necessary, for all of you have seen this yourselves. So why do you keep speaking nonsense? I will tell you how God, the Almighty, punishes wicked and violent men. Their children will go hungry, and even if they have many sons, they will die in battle. Those who survive will die of disease, and their widows will not mourn for them. The wicked may pile up silver like heaps of dust and store up clothing in abundance. But someday a righteous person will wear those clothes, and an honest man will inherit the silver. The house the wicked build lasts as little as a spider's web, or as a hut made by a watchman in a field. The wicked man goes to bed rich, but it is for the last time, for when he wakes, his wealth is gone. Terror will sweep him away like a flood, and at night a storm will hurl him off. The fierce east wind will snatch him from his home, blowing against him without mercy, even as he tries to escape. He runs, but the wind whistles after him and terrifies him with its destructive power. It will sweep him away like a flood, and in the night the storm will throw him far from his place.